It Takes Two is a surprising hit that I didn't expect to love. Before we start, let's talk about the story and the characters real quick. They start off the game by throwing you into the seemingly exhausting verbal confrontation from two parents. I knew nothing about the game prior, so this kinda came out of left field for me. Listening to this opening dialogue made this.
I'm working tomorrow.
But it's Saturday.
I know, I've got to work overtime.
What, you have to do that every week?
Oh, Cody, I'm not in the mood for this discussion again.
Feel very detached from this. We're going for distance on this one.
Wow! This is cool!
I told you they'd come in handy.
I actually really enjoyed the story and the characters and even the magical book. Knowing the tension between the two characters, Cody and May, makes for some awkward and uncomfortable dialogue. But watching Cody and May over the course of the game slowly acknowledge each other's strengths and weaknesses and help one another with them was very wholesome. Then there was other times you would feel this urge to scream at your screen because they were so blinded by their resentment for one another that the obvious solution is right in front of them but they can't see it. Or when the moment is perfect for them to express their true feelings, something just so happens to interrupt them or the other pulls away. There are so many emotions as the story unfolds that you feel a giant sense of relief when they finally share a kiss to break the spell. Now that's the extremely condensed version of the story, and I highly recommend if you want to get the full story, you go ahead and play it. But where the true magic is in the game, is the gameplay.
Hurry up, it! Come on, one more time! No!
It Takes Two really took in, nurtured, raised like their own, and watched co-op gameplay graduate from college. Every ability goes hand in hand with each other, and they keep these abilities moving. They never dwell on an idea too long, so it doesn't really have a chance to get stale. Hammer and nail, red and blue attracting magnets, goo shooter and matches. Take that as you will. While constantly keeping the gameplay fresh, the developers are also keeping the symbolism very thematic with love, which is a cute touch. Even when it isn't a profound symbolic pairing of abilities, it's just fun. Now, don't even get me started on the competitive minigames. Nothing was more exciting than hearing that little tambourine jingle. Anything and everything you did with your partner is void when that jingle strikes, because it is officially on at that point. Whack-a-mole, chess, slot cars, all of these plus so much more were just a blast. We only did best of 3 rounds for most of them to keep things rolling, but personally I could have sat there and played the greater majority of them for hours. The real shock was in the base game. It just went all over the place with variety. For most of the game you're playing a really clean platformer with smooth controls. Before you know it, you're fighting a squirrel on top of a plane like a Street Fighter. Now you're doing a Diablo style dungeon crawler with a fire sword and ice magic. Then to top it all off, you're playing DDR and DJ Hero for a bunch of glow sticks. It's amazing and so well implemented, I love it. There's a discussion in the gaming community of whether it's better for a game to do one thing well, or do many things just okay. To me, balance is key. The developers really give you a lot of time between each genre blend segment to feel like you're playing the same game, but brings a change in when it fits the setting. My initial reaction to the genre swap was confusion, led by excitement, and then joy. To some, it might be disconnecting, but I found it to be even more capturing. Every time we entered a new environment, I was sitting in anticipation for it to happen again. Now, I don't know if it was the goofy worlds or the adorable art style this game had, but I always was immersed in my environment. Anytime I had the option to explore, I wanted to, and I think it was extremely healthy for my attention span and the pacing of the overall game. This is with help from the mini games and the other little activities they give you so you can goof around for a while.
Oh, shit! What else am I going to do now?
Have at thee! I never found myself bored with anything the game had for me, and not a lot of games can do that nowadays. There seems to be a horrible tendency to just add time waster missions and filler to make you think you're having fun, but I didn't feel that in this game whatsoever. Now, a game can be fun to play, but is it pretty to look at? I want to start off by saying graphics mean little to nothing to me when judging a game's quality. But however, This game is really pretty. I found myself just staring in awe, and I don't think I've done that since I played Breath of the Wild. Now I think that might be a controversial thing to say, but my definition of pretty isn't always whether or not if I can see the molecules that create the grass. It's more often than not rather the distance and consistency of spanning detail that I can see. I stand on a mountain in Breath of the Wild and can see a village I was just in as well as a divine beast moving around. It gives me this idea that I exist in this world. With the sprawling mountains, detailed gardens, and stunning underground mushroom area, which I'm a sucker for these type of areas, might I say. This level of detail is pretty common nowadays with big budget games, but given the fact that I didn't play it for the visuals, it was a wonderful surprise. I love when a game puts its gameplay in the forefront, but also keeps you immersed in an incredibly alive and detailed world. I know a lot of it was goofy settings where realism took a backseat, but even then it was beautifully cartoony. The angelic cloud world, the Tim Burton-esque village with miles of dimly lit forest beneath you as you fly over it. I now look back on these scenes while making this video and want to play it all again so I can appreciate everything more. I feel like this review wouldn't be complete without talking about one specific scene and a particular character. I cannot describe to you how uncomfortable this game made me feel at times. The moments with Cody and May fighting were initially awkward, but over time became a normal part of the dialogue. But there were a few scenes that made my heart cringe. One of them being where Cody and May came to the conclusion that making Rose cry was the way to break the spell, which we as the player knew was incorrect. But yet, they're so convinced that's what must be done, they set out to kill, yes kill, Rose's favorite toy, Cutie the elephant. Now you may be thinking, Lucor, come on, it's just a toy, how bad could it be? You had no problem lasering a monkey that was trying to protect Rose earlier, what's the big deal now? Well, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I hate all of this.
Yeah, what the fuck is this? Oh my god, we're fucking murdering somebody.
Oh my god, stop.
Stop squirming.
Just make it be done with. No, stop. Oh my god.
God.
Oh, stop.
Are you good?
I was wincing. No. Oh my god.
Oh no. No.
This scene alone fucked me up. I knew what our mission was, but nowhere in my mind was I prepared for this. Some people are probably thinking, grow up, it's a stuffed animal. Have you ever played insert whatever horror slasher game would be mentioned? But it's all about context here. These characters are not presented as serial killers slash sociopaths. They're just normal parents trying to do what they think is right. But at no point do they stop during this to think, hey, maybe this isn't a good idea, and also, what the fuck is wrong with us? And after all is said and done, to put the cherry on top of all of this, Rose sees her now mutilated toy drop to the floor, which then she begins to cry. Cody and May then proceed to dance, yes dance, in her tears, and to no one's surprise, they did not change back. And now we are to just sit here and think about what we just did to this adorable elephant. They don't even mention it again. Afterwards, they just move on. So I retract my earlier statement about them not being sociopaths because I should not be feeling more anguish from this scene than they do. It makes perfect sense on why this game got a teen rating, so I give them credit for having that because good god, if a kid got their hands on this, they might be traumatized for life. But just like Cody and May, let's move on. All in all, we only experienced one bug throughout the entire game, and it wasn't even game breaking. It was just a mini game that didn't agree with our network connection, or something went wrong. But we got a pretty weird and funny time out of it. Well, I did at least. What's wrong with my brain?
What is happening right now?
Are you good? What the fuck just happened?
I don't know.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
What's happening? Oh my god! I fucked up! Look at me!
You look fine to me.
You're all fucked up for me too! It Takes Two was a wonderful journey for me personally. I haven't played a co-op game like this in a long time that I didn't have a level of distaste or disinterest for by the end. We took our time with it and played it over the course of a few sessions instead of all in one, and I think that helped it keep its magic. For my first ever review style video, I give It Takes Two a 4 out of 5.